Are you living a life of meaning and purpose? Do you feel like you know what path you're on? And do you feel that you are aware of your soul purpose? I'm Julianna Jay, and I'm here for numerologist.com to enlighten you on your path. So today we're going to talk about your soul path and your life purpose. And one of the greatest gifts that I have been given is the ability to connect with the soul of another, to be able to connect with the divine forces, and to be able to ask, what is the unique encoding that is within you, that you are here to make a difference with? So the truth is that 99.9% of you and I are very much at a DNA level the same. It is that tiny little bit that's our unique encoding that is different, and that's the seed that has been planted by the great master in our hearts and in our souls. And it's important that we align with that so that we can live a life of true meaning and purpose. So there have been many different soul purposes that have come up as I have read for people in their Akashic records. And what is quite amazing is when you discuss this with people and you actually bring to them the life purpose and the soul purpose that they are inscribed in the book of life to do, one of three things happens, which is amazing. The first one is they usually sigh, and it's a sigh of recognition. It's a sigh of acceptance on the path. And it's that sigh of being able to say, my goodness, that I can do. That's enough. If that's enough, then I'm on the right path. And the second way is they will laugh like, wow, I've been doing this all my life. This was me since I was 2, since I was 3, since I first had memories, and this is how people have always described me. And the third way is they cry, because they realize that there's been a truth given to them that is rich, that feels like them and feels aligned to them. So this is important, and it's important to be able to work out your own soul purpose. But I can tell you that with regards to soul purpose is a thing we do without thinking. But when the other person receives the gift of what we have given so willingly, it touches their heart. So that could be as simple as a child who sings, and when they sing, they touch everybody's heart. And they grow up to be beautiful artists who know how to touch the heart through singing. Or maybe they write beautiful poetry. Maybe you're a beautiful poet who writes beautiful poetry. And the words that you put in and put down on paper just seem to resonate at a very deep soul level with people. And you are somebody who is destined to work with words, because our words have the power to transform. Or maybe you are somebody who is always the cheerleader in life and knows how to motivate people to be their best self. Is really good at it. And you're always the one on the path who's saying, come on, you can do it. I believe in you. I bet you can do that. I saw you do such and such thing, and you notice the most minute details that you call in at a moment where somebody needs that support. Or maybe you have a calling to be a nurse that may never wear a white uniform or be recognized with the name nurse on them, but somebody who is aligned to being able to support somebody when they are in need of healing, who are able to know what to do to care for someone at a deep heart and soul level. And it's very, very beautiful. Or maybe you are somebody who is a connector, who just watches, is an observer of life and watches exactly what's going on and what somebody's saying in the most minute way, and may say nothing for a while and then say, I think I know who you need to speak to. I think I know who I can connect you with. I think this person is important on your path. I think this person could help you. And you're the one on the phone or emailing people or whatever, and you're thinking, oh sure, I just dropped a message to that person. I just felt right. So a lot of these people are very claircognizant, and sometimes they wonder, have they any spiritual gift at all? Because they don't see the wisdom and the amazing power that they have to transform the path of another by being able to see the connections that need to be made. So sometimes they don't see the power of their own thing, but they do feel the magic, because they kind of think, oh, I have something to do with that person's journey, and it's quite beautiful. So they're the connectors. And then we have people who are here to bring hope. And they're always the people who are found in hopeless situations saying, it'll get better. I think it'll be good. I think that the result will come back well. I think that that'll change. And they without knowing, often get a slagging from people saying, you're too positive. You're always positive. Why are you always positive? And when deep down in their own hearts, maybe they're not that positive about their own lives. But when it comes to other people's lives, they know how to bring hope to that person when all hope is gone. So sometimes they end up being doulas or midwives for people as they're transitioning and bringing hope that the journey ahead will be fantastic. Or sometimes they're the people who bring in hope as cancer care support nurses or support counsellors or doctors, where they're going into situations where people have great fear, and they're the people who carry hope. And I think they work very well with Archangel Uriel and Angel Hope. It's like they carry a lantern or a light to light the path when it feels dark, and to bring hope when all hope is gone. And if that's you, well done. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I've also had the people who are the peacemakers, and a lot of empaths are the peacemakers. They have learned in their own homes as a child, as they were growing up, how to make peace, how to be the one who diffused situations, how to be the one who can read what somebody needs and maybe go about themselves trying to put that in place so that it keeps things happy and it keeps things running along smoothly. And regardless of where they're put in an office or in any situation, they have a way of bringing people together and finding a way of bringing in peace. This can be a very difficult task for them to do internally, because they can feel like everybody fights among them. They never really say how they're feeling, but they're constantly helping other people to feel good about themselves and bringing peace to a situation. And then we have the advocates. They're incredible people who speak up for another, people who bring all of the information. I remember reading for a lady who was an advocate, and I said to her, at a soul level at this moment in time, the archetype you're playing out is the advocate. I said, are you aware of that? And she said, yes. And I said, what is an advocate to you? And she said, well, Julianna, an advocate to me is somebody who can collect the information. She said, I am actually the main advocate, she said, for the foster homes in Ireland. And she said, when there has been a complaint from one of the foster families or from a child regarding some of the foster parents or any type of dispute, she said, I go in and I listen to both sides of the coin. I make sure that I have all the dossiers written up correctly, and then I speak for people so that I ensure that their message gets across bravely and correctly and accurately, and that they feel that they have support. And here's to all the advocates out there. It's incredible. And I think some people go to become a lawyer in order to be that advocate, but sometimes they lose their way in the whole justice system and everything. But an advocate is such a beautiful thing. It supports somebody else and gives them a voice when maybe they're in fear or in doubt. There are also many light workers who have come in to bring in a lot of information around how we can bring more kindness, compassion, healing, empathy into the world. And they are the people who will sit for hours nursing a situation with somebody, being like life's counsellors, bringing good counsel. And it is often overlooked that whole power of being someone who brings good counsel. And yet we all know there are people in our lives who bring great counsel, and we feel very, very nourished by being in their company. So if you're one of the people who brings good counsel as a counsellor, here's to you and the great work that you do. And there are teachers, people who are here to teach in a new way, because I think a lot of the time there are new methods constantly called on to change with the times. We have some very progressive teachers who can think outside the box and show many different ways of teaching a subject. And this is something that I'm passionate about, because I do believe that we all learn differently, that the unique encoding within us is calling on us to learn differently. Some learn orally, some will learn from seeing something done in front of them visually. Some people are kinesthetic learners, which means that they do something with the information. So they might write notes. I'm a note taker. So if I want to take in information, I need to take down my notes. If I never look at them again, I'm kinesthetic. If you're showing me to do something, I actually need to do it myself in order to make sure that I know how to do it. So that's a kinesthetic learner. So we're all different, and it's really cool when you have a teacher who can work out the best way of teaching you. And I personally would love if teachers had more freedom to roam around the senses and to bring in great change in how the rote learning is kicked to the side, and we have a more collective approach as to learning styles being supported that are different to the mainstream styles. These are only some of them. I could talk about these for hours. There are just so many. And if I've mentioned any ones that you're doing unbeknownst to yourself, wow, I'm so privileged to have you here, because you need to take a bow for what you do so naturally and how you gift the world of you so generously. Because when you do that, the way you know that your soul is happy is that when you do it without thinking about it, it touches somebody else, and you derive some level of pleasure from being able to be fully present in the life of that person and gifting them something that they feel is precious. I'm Julianna Jay, the Soul Illuminator, bringing you your signpost from the soul. And may it guard and guide you, and may it bring you peace on your beautiful path. Namaste.